A wise old sage Chanakya had said centuries ago that danger to national security emanating from inside, aided and abetted from outside, was the most serious threat to integrity and security of a nation. But whether it is an internal threat or a foreign invasion coming on us, it needs to be addressed at war footing. Hello and welcome to the fresh new episode of Students' Time, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of education, politics, economics, business, entertainment, science, technology, research and innovation. We have a lot in store for you. I am Ved Gulgule, your host for this week, and today we are having a very special guest with us in the studio. A former diplomat and ambassador P.S. Raghavan, who is the chairman of the National Security Advisory Board, which advises India's National Security Council on issues of security and strategic affairs. He has a 36 years of diplomatic career and has served in different capacities, including USSR, Poland, United Kingdom, Vietnam, and South Africa. Right now, he is a distinguished fellow at the Vivekananda International Foundation, New Delhi, and emeritus resource faculty at the Rashtriya Raksha University, Gandhinagar. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you.
Thank you so much, sir. Same here. I'm really glad and honored to be here with you. So my first question to you would be, sir, when it comes to national security, people tend to imagine about the border security forces, but definitely national security can't be just related to protecting our borders from foreign invasions. So what other aspects are also included in national security?
Thank you. That's a very good question you have asked, and it really requires a much wider appreciation of the nature of national security, especially in today's world. Securing our borders, yes, that is part of national security. But how do you secure your borders? Through technology, through weaponry, through manpower, and through a whole range of technologies which keep increasing, which keep improving day by day. In addition to that, you have internal security. That's also part of national security.
Certainly.
Today, what used to be called non-traditional security have become very much mainstream security issues, whether it is food security, water security, environmental security. All of this is part of national security.
True.
And then there is technology. In today's world, technology rules every part of our life. In tomorrow's world, it is going to rule a much broader part of our economy and of our life. So, to ensure that the technologies that you're developing, the technologies that you're importing are compatible with your security. I mean, cyber security is one thing that everybody knows about, but there are other network securities that you need to look at, and a whole range of areas where your technologies have to give you the security within your country. So you have security, national security is a pretty wide subject.
True.
And entering areas which many people don't even imagine it enters.
Right. So as we're talking about technology, TIFAC, that is Technology Think Tank, Technology Information Forecasting and Assessment Council, in 2016 published a document called as Technology Vision 2035, where setting aside the military aspect, the four major thematic things were mentioned, thematic areas of national security were mentioned, starting with information and communication security, as you also rightly pointed out, then infrastructure and physical security, financial and economic security, and last but not the least, natural resources and environmental security. So with this ever-evolving technology, as we are talking about, where are we exactly as a nation we are standing right now?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think I should mention the fact that your Vice-Chancellor, Professor Prabhat Ranjan, was the driving force of this Technology Vision 2035. I will also say that unfortunately it has not been given the kind of attention that it deserved. Variety of reasons for that, partly bureaucratic, partly political, whatever the reason. But I think it is a constant effort. It is a striving to achieve development in all these areas. Also recognizing that between 2016 and 2023, technologies have exploded in ways that even the technology vision could not have envisaged.
Right. Absolutely.
So those challenges have been reinforced with other challenges of different kinds. in various areas. And it is India's ambition always to meet these challenges, to get ahead of them. But it's very difficult to say where we are. We always, the problem with technology is that when you've caught up with it, it's already gone further ahead.
True.
It's a bit like Zeno's paradox,
Absolutely.
So you keep going and that goes, and you'll never quite catch up with it.
Totally, sir. Absolutely. And again, since we're talking about technology, India is an open market. So it may be the foreign universities, maybe the foreign companies, tech companies are investing in India, which indeed is giving economic boost to our nation. But can't it be a threat to national security? And if not, then what are the precautionary measures that we are taking?
Look, every opportunity carries a threat within it, but every threat also carries an opportunity.
Definitely.
So I think we have to take that. You cannot, you see, the national security professional will say कि भाई ये भी नहीं चाहिए, वो भी नहीं चाहिए, internet बंद कर दो. So internet बंद कर दोगे, तो then all the terrorists will not be able to talk to each other. But so the public can't talk to each other either.
Right, sir.
So we need to find the balance. But we need to welcome all the technology we can get. We need to make sure how we can create the checks within it
True.
that can protect us. We have, you now have a telecom security, hardware security committee that looks into the kind of hardware that is coming in. I think a similar kind of activity is being planned for matching the hardware with the software. But all of these has to be a continuing effort in the full knowledge that always technology will move a little bit ahead of the regulator, the technology regulator. That's in the nature of things everywhere else. So maybe you should have more a trusted telecom, trusted relationship between the regulator and the technology developer.
Right.
So these are all moving parts that have to be constantly adjusted.
I guess.
But because of that, you can't say I won't take in technology.
Absolutely. I guess in this era, we are living in a digital era where technology and national security, they just go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot separate them. So also my next question would be, sir, India invested 6,000 crore rupees in National Quantum Mission. Recently it was announced. So how does quantum computing, quantum communication and even AI impacts national security of the nation?
The answer is the same as the answer to the previous question. Sorry. It is a huge opportunity. In the hands of the criminal,
Right.
It's a huge threat.
True.
And the kind of things that it can do to protect your national security is also the kind of things, the same kind of technologies in the hands of a criminal can impact your national security.
Absolutely.
So this is, again, as I said, this is a constant struggle between the regulator and the technology criminal.
Right, sir. So, since we have got a bit time, this would be my personal question, but of course related to national security indeed, because nations first. How does India as a nation define its stand when situations are between devil and the deep sea, like Russia-Ukraine war, where we are pressurizing even to support Russia, also to condemn Russia or to support Ukraine? So how does India maintain its diplomacy, or what exactly, how does India as a nation defines its stand?
Yeah. Our External Affairs Minister has often been asked about this question, saying that, when there is a matter of right and wrong, when there is a matter of morality and immorality, how can India sit on the fence?
True.
To which his answer was, I'm not sitting on the fence. I am sitting in my ground. I am looking to see what I need to do for my people.
Right.
I have a target as a country that I need economic growth. I need an economic growth with technology development and security. I need to do what it takes for that. Once I have a very clear idea of what I need for the development of my country, my stand on these other situations will develop by itself.
True.
So we should not try to respond to somebody else's question from somebody else's perspective, but from our perspective.
Right.
Where I stand and how I see the world, I need to take a decision on that.
Right, sir.
Not on what other people expect of me to do.
Absolutely. And my last question, sir, to you would be, what is the potential of India as a nation and what it take to make it into a reality?
See, the potential of India as a nation is huge. It is huge from a number of perspectives. Firstly, we have a cultural, civilizational heritage that has also been enriched by cross-pollination of a number of other civilizations and cultures.
Absolutely.
Secondly, we have a large country with a young population. Thirdly, we have a strategic location, which is between East and West. Fourthly, we have a historical connection with the developing world because of our non-aligned movement during the Cold War, and because we did not join up with either of the two superpowers. So we are in many ways a natural, I would not like to call it a leader, but a natural partner of the global South.
True.
And finally, after the Cold War, I think our diplomacy did well to maintain our old links with Russia and with other countries, while developing new links with the US, with Japan, with Europe, and so on. So we have a menu, if you like, of or repertoire of international relations.
Absolutely.
Which stands us in very good stead. So if you look at this entire range of assets that India has, I think India has a huge potential, and many of these assets other countries don't have. The Western countries are all aging. China is aging.
Right.
While we are still in our prime, as it were, in terms of age.
True.
So these are advantages which give us the potential to be a great power. But potential does not make reality. You need to work on that potential. If you say you have a young population, they become a force if they are technologically developed, if their skills are technological skills are developed in areas where growth is required, where development is required. If you are able to place them in the right locations, if they are able to contribute to the world. So, every one of our advantages need working on to convert potential to reality.
Absolutely.
And that is our main task over the next 10 years or so.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for this wonderful conversation, sir. It was great meeting you. Max Muller, a German philologist, has said that if I were asked under what sky the human mind has most fully developed, some of its choicest gifts, has most deeply pondered on the greatest problems of life and has found solution, I should point to India. And listening to the person who has represented such a diverse nation on a global platform so many times is nothing but pure bliss. Alas, we have to put a pause somewhere. This will be all for this episode of Students' Time. We will be surely have something new and interesting in the next episode exclusively for you. Until then, do tell us how you like our program. You can also send your feedback and suggestions on our email. Our email ID is studentstime@dypiu.ac.in. As promised, we will be back with fresh new stories again next week. Till then, stay tuned and think scientifically and nationally.